They say true transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens when a man takes control over his own impulses. And one of the most profound forms of self-control is semen retention. This video isn't about hype, it's about understanding. Because if you don't understand what's happening to you during this journey, you'll never truly unlock its potential. This is an in-depth breakdown of the 6 transformational stages of semen retention, from the very first conscious decision to the final stage where your intuition and focus reach their highest form. By the end, you'll realize that retention isn't just about abstaining, it's about evolution. Let's begin. Stage 1. The conscious decision. Every great transformation begins with a single, powerful decision. But this one is different. It's not about trying a new habit. It's about drawing a line in the sand, declaring that you're no longer a slave to your urges. When you choose retention, you're not saying no to pleasure. You're saying yes to purpose. That moment, that internal switch, changes everything. You realize how much of your life has been driven by impulses you didn't even choose. Moments of weakness, wasted time, broken focus, and low motivation, all rooted in instant gratification. But the second you decide to stop being controlled by that cycle, you step into a rare category of men, those who choose to master themselves. And make no mistake, your brain will fight you. It'll whisper, just once more. It'll try to negotiate with logic and emotion. But every time you refuse, you reclaim power. That resistance you feel, that's your old self dying. This is where the first spark of self-respect appears. And from here, everything begins to shift. Because once you win the mental battle, you enter the next stage, the rewiring of your mind. Stage 2. Reconditioning the brain. This stage is the battlefield of the modern man. For years, your brain has been conditioned for instant dopamine, a quick fix for boredom, stress, or loneliness. You've trained yourself, unconsciously, to escape discomfort instead of facing it. Now, when you stop feeding that pattern, your brain panics. You'll feel restlessness, frustration, sudden drops in mood. Your mind will reach for distractions that used to comfort you. This is withdrawal not from a substance, but from a behavior. Here's where most people quit. They think something's wrong with them. But in truth, this discomfort is proof that your brain is being reprogrammed. Each time you resist the urge, you're literally strengthening the part of your brain that controls focus, willpower, and long-term goals, the prefrontal cortex. You begin to notice small wins. You get more things done. You start feeling motivated without external rewards. You begin to realize that dopamine is not your enemy. It just needed to be earned, not stolen. And as your brain resets, something else starts happening quietly beneath the surface. Your body begins to heal. It begins to cleanse. And that's where the next phase begins. Stage 3. Physical detox. Your body is smarter than you think. The moment you stop constantly releasing vital nutrients and hormones, your system starts to repair itself. Retention triggers a biological reset. The nutrients that once left your body are now recycled. Zinc, magnesium, proteins, and testosterone are redirected toward rebuilding muscle, improving your immune system, and fueling your mind. You'll notice changes. Your posture improves, your skin brightens, your eyes become sharper and more alive. Even your sleep feels deeper, and your mornings start to carry energy instead of exhaustion. But there's a catch. Detox is not comfortable. You might face mood swings, fatigue, or vivid dreams. Your body is flushing out old patterns physically and energetically. Think of it like cleaning a house you've neglected for years. Dust rises before it settles. Most men give up here because they mistake discomfort for failure. But those who persist begin to feel something remarkable, a growing reservoir of inner energy. That's your vitality building up. And when that energy becomes stable, it explodes into the next stage, raw power and drive. Stage 4. Boosts in vitality. This is where you start to feel alive again. You wake up ready to attack the day. You feel a deep, steady current of energy flowing through you, the kind that doesn't come from caffeine or motivation videos, but from within. Your focus sharpens. Your workouts improve. Your creativity spikes. You begin to think clearer and move with purpose. And here's why: when you retain, your body starts using your hormonal power to regenerate cells, repair tissue, and strengthen your nervous system. Testosterone rises, not just in numbers, but in effect. You feel more assertive, confident, and decisive. People around you notice the change before you do. You speak slower, but with weight. You move with certainty, not hesitation. And with every day that passes, your energy compounds. This is the stage where you realize that your potential has always been there. It was just hidden beneath the fog of constant release and distraction. Now that fog is gone, and your power is visible. You begin to radiate it. And that's when something fascinating happens. People start to feel your presence before you even speak. That's the next stage, the magnetic aura. Stage 5, the magnetic aura. Some call it energy. Some call it confidence. Others call it charisma. Whatever name you choose, the result is the same when you master yourself. The world notices. You no longer seek validation. You no longer chase attention. And that calm indifference creates gravity. You've probably seen it, that one man in the room who doesn't say much, but everyone senses him. That's the power of retained energy and focused discipline. Your body language shifts from anxious to composed. Your eyes hold contact longer. Your tone becomes slower, deeper, and more deliberate. People respect you differently, not because you demand it, but because you embody it. Women are drawn to you, not because of lust, but because of your energy stability. You're no longer seeking. You're centered. And this stage is where you realize that energy never lies. People can feel who's in control and who isn't. But remember, this aura isn't the final goal. It's simply the signal that you're aligned. Because the next and final stage is about clarity. It's about using that energy not to impress, but to create. Stage 6, activating intuition. At this point, you've evolved. Your energy isn't leaking, your mind isn't scattered, and your emotions are balanced. Something deeper awakens intuition. You start making decisions faster and with more certainty. You sense when something's right or wrong without needing to overthink it. You see patterns others don't. That's not magic, it's focus. When your mind is no longer flooded by dopamine spikes, your perception becomes sharp. You start connecting ideas, reading energy, understanding timing. You become a man of presence and foresight, someone who acts from clarity, not chaos. Your creativity expands, your confidence becomes effortless, and your sense of direction strengthens. This is where retention stops being a challenge and becomes your nature. You don't count days anymore, you count achievements. You've transcended the physical battle. Now you're living from purpose, from alignment, from power. That's the mark of true self-mastery. Conclusion. Semen retention is not about fear. It's not about guilt. It's about reclaiming what's already yours, your focus, your strength, your masculinity. It's the discipline that refines you from the inside out. Stage 1, you take back control. Stage 2, you rewire your brain. Stage 3, your body heals. Stage 4, your energy ignites. Stage 5, your presence commands. Stage 6, your intuition awakens. This is the evolution of a man who stops chasing pleasure and starts building purpose. You don't retain to restrict, you retain to rebuild, to realign, to rise. Because once you master your energy, you master yourself. And once you master yourself, you master your destiny. Retain to maintain.